think the fans would be upset if we made the show about women?
Our fans?
Yes.
No.
Oh, come on.
The general audience? Yeah, maybe. Probably.
It feels good to be back. Folks,
Me.
Welcome to another... What? Whoa, rewind a bit, sir. Are you not wanting to be here doing this glorious thing?
I'm thrilled. I am bursting.
Folks, don't let our tone dissuade you. We are happy to be here and doing this. The thing is, though, we are both fathers, and it is Tuesday, so
9-ish.
9-ish. So yeah, the parenthood is a chore at times. But
As opposed to the times it's not?
yeah, push that to the side.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to another exciting episode of The Devil's Due. I am your host, Carl Duty. With me, as always, is a man who can dust off 50 Red Cobra ninjas at the drop of a hat, Mr. Drew Celestino.
It's all that Japanese training I did.
Yes.
Can't talk about it.
No.
Vow of silence and whatnot.
But yeah. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
got a special treat for you this week, folks. We have a guest-ish. And I don't think we really call him a guest, air finger quotes. He's just kind of part of the family, the Devil's Due family. Mr. J. Gelsomino is here with us.
I'm the guy on the couch.
The guy on the couch that doesn't leave.
And I'd like to show I am vaccinated.
He's got his Empire card.
I got
Look
my
at that.
Empire card.
We appreciate that.
Until
Here.
10/20/21 at 11:59, and then it expires.
I think that's
So
when
after that, I'm dead.
I think mine
Probably.
expires.
I
in
can't go to
October as
Tops
well.
at 12 o'clock that night because I'll get COVID.
At Tops, probably. Not at Wegmans.
No. Know your audience.
They have there is the mask mandate back at Wegmans, or it's a
It's a strong suggestion.
Please put on a mask.
Yeah.
Ironic,
We won't
since they
enforce
were pretty much against them when things first started.
Yeah. So
Funny how
folks,
that changes around.
yeah,
Anyway,
folks, as you know, the Delta Airlines has gotten in the COVID business, and business is booming.
Did you see the sign?
Do us a favor. Get the vaccine.
Yes, please.
And wear a mask when common sense tells you should wear a mask.
And then get it again.
You get that booster.
Yeah.
Trying to find the where's the
It's gold. It's booster gold.
whoa.
You were telling me that it was Booster Gold. I'd get it right now and inject myself.
I can't find it. But anyway, there was that great graphic from like a baseball game or something where Delta Airlines has a banner up in the building,
Yeah.
and it says like, oh, what does it say? Jay, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do.
You do.
We're all going to sit here and try to figure it out.
I'm not looking for it. So while they're looking for it, folks, I know it's been a hot
You've seen
minute
it. It's a
since
meme.
we've done an episode. Life kind of finds a way to keep us apart from you. We do apologize for that. So we're gonna come at you with a lot of fun goodness tonight. Quick preview: you're getting 2 Duty Top 5 lists tonight because it's been so long. Wanted to give you a little something extra. You guys,
I found the picture. Delta back in the stands, back out in the world. Boy, is it.
Sure is.
Way to go, Delta.
Oh, fly the friendly skies right to heaven.
So, Drew, as it has been, I believe, at least a month since our last episode, how has your months been?
In the immortal words of Luke Skywalker, same as always.
That bad, huh?
Yeah. Just hashtag dad life, pretty much.
Yeah.
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 We're all dads here.
Yeah.
And we all love our kids. Don't get us wrong.
This is the understood. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just around the table.
I got 2.
And a record.
Well, whose fault is that?
Well,
Stupid sexy Flanders.
in any case, things are good. Dude's talking more and more. He's super into Boba Fett at the moment, which is kind of funny.
Cool.
And that's it. I'm barely dipping my toe into the gaming waters again. I'm playing Skyward Sword for the Switch. It's been an interesting experience revisiting that game. So much DNA of Breath of the Wild was born in Skyward Sword, and we didn't know it at the time. But in playing Skyward Sword, it's fascinating because everything that it gave birth to in Breath of the Wild is done far better in Breath of the Wild.
Gotcha.
It's not that Skyward Sword is a bad game. It's a beautifully designed game, and like it's good, and yet you play it and you're just waiting for it to like. When does it get good?
It's the Iron Man 3 of the Zelda franchise. Is that what you're saying?
No, because I like Iron Man 3. It's
Is it the Thor: The Dark World of the Iron Man franchise?
I don't even know how to describe it. It's like you're just waiting for it to like get going. Like, okay, when does this get going?
So it's the Zack Snyder's Justice League of the Zelda franchise.
No, it's better than that. It's all very, it's all very well and good. It's perfectly cromulent. But as I'm looking at my playtime and I'm like 8 hours into it and I'm thinking, I don't feel like I've done anything in this game. Like,
I know
when does this get going?
You mentioned to me that the initial prologue
Very lengthy.
takes a truck to get through.
It's probably the lengthiest prologue in any Zelda game.
Okay.
And that's to its detriment. And then even after you get going, I'm going and I'm still wondering, when does this get going?
Yeah.
So, in any case, I've been doing that. I'm also, I got a deal and I could not say no to the Mass Effect Legendary Edition for PlayStation 4. So I have that. So I fired that up recently. The changes to Mass Effect 1 so far are I'm air quoting negligible. Still my favorite of the franchise so far.
Just wait, Jabba's going to show up.
What?
Jabba? The special edition.
Oh, no. No, they didn't do that. But no, it's good. And I just love that world so very much. Mass Effect is awesome. And the funny thing is, in reading some of the early game codex of Mass Effect, the first one, and just the general vibe of it, but specifically reading certain passages in the codex, I'm reading things that are like big red flags, and I just went, oh my god, the writers of The Expanse had to be Mass Effect fans. They had to be, because there are things referenced in the codex of Mass Effect that's like, that happens in The Expanse, like I can point to it. So it's been kind of fun. And I'm still in book 6 of that, but it's been slowed down a bit by just things happening recently and whatnot, games and all that. But I'm still trucking through. Had my birthday. That was fine. We don't have to say much else about that. And that's it. That's a month or two.
We've been having game night.
We have been having game night. We're making a nice progression through the Red Skull campaign.
The Rise of the Red Skull, Marvel Champion. So this is like your first like extended foray into Marvel Champions.
Yeah.
Now, with the exception of this past Friday where I screwed up
my deck was a mess.
I didn't notice your deck was 2 times the size of everyone else's deck.
With everyone else with wrong character cards. Had that not happened, I would have been firing off at a good clip.
So, but we've been playing the game for a couple weeks in a row now. How are you liking the game?
It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Once you, especially having done several iterations of the same character now, playing a campaign, I know what cards I want to try and get out, how they chain together, what I can do, and that just changes everything. Like, I mean, go figure. Knowing how to play the game makes the game better, So, no, it's a good game.
Sweet. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
Yeah.
Jay?
How have your years been, Jay?
How have your years been?
My years been.
But it's been a couple years since we had you on.
In physical form.
How's things?
Buying a house.
You are buying a house.
I will be moving next week.
It's your third.
It's third.
Man. Baller over here.
Trilogy.
Don't be Rise.
Hopefully this is better than Jaws 3D.
I hope this is better than Rise of Skywalker.
Don't be Godfather 3.
No.
Even though I like that one.
It's got its moments. It's got many moments, and then they shoot Sofia Coppola, and that's
That's a moment.
necessary.
Wow.
Yeah, so Budokan Gelsomino Hall will be opening in a week.
Yes. Yes.
With the finished basement. So it'll be nice and carpeted for everybody's delight. The kids are still alive. The dogs are alive. I work
Good on you.
in a basement, not finished. Yeah.
I've seen the
That's
Zoom
the-
calls.
Yes. My wife's wreath business has taken over the basement, but luckily in the new house, she will have her own the fourth bedroom will now be
A Rethium.
Wreathium. And so yeah, that's been life.
Cool.
Sitting in a basement 8 hours a day
All
next
right.
to my comic books.
Have you read any of them?
Nope.
Nope.
I tried the other day. I got through a couple issues of old Batman. Not old Batman, but 8 issues behind Batman. And I got a stack about yay high, just unread.
Yep.
To go along with the stack that's been sitting at Collector's Inn for the last month and a half that I haven't picked up either. So
Yeah, stop doing that to shops. That's not nice.
I don't like doing it. It's not something I'm proud of, but time is...
I get you.
It's easy when you can dump off one kid. 2 kids. Good luck. Oh, yeah, and had to sell the Billy Joel tickets. It's Samantha. He's like Samantha's favorite artist, but we're just like, there's way too many people at this thing, and
Yeah.
I don't trust folk right now.
No, probably shouldn't.
No.
I'm guessing.
Plus, it's the same week we're moving in.
Yeah,
So-
that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. I don't care if the new house is like walk-in ready, like we paid for walk-in ready, because if anybody out there knows about the housing market, it's a joy. You overpaid want to pay $50,000 over asking price? You can do that.
You will. No, can
You did.
You will.
I certainly did.
I'm
I got $40,000 over asking price for my house, so it kind of balanced out.
thinking the way things are going, AEW in September, toss a coin.
It'll happen. It's
Okay.
up to you if you want to go to it. That's the thing.
Oh, the Rochester show?
Yes.
Damn.
The debut of nobody.
Aw.
Nobody's going to show up.
Not.
They're going to mess with everybody.
They're not going to debut anybody, but it's going to be a show. Dark Order's going to be there. I'm sure they'll do something for Brody.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's Tuesday.
All right.
You know what that means?
It means it's not Wednesday.
I can't. It hit
It means
bad
it's
last
AEW
week.
Dark.
with the
when
entrance.
JR did It's Wednesday, you know what that means.
They do it
And
every
then
week.
Went right to the dark, but it
Yeah.
went right to the Dark Order coming out. I'm like,
Yeah.
why? Why must you just destroy my emotions, AEW?
I'm just happy that they still honor
Exist.
the man. Well, that they.
I was going to say just AEW existing is good enough.
I don't think you have to worry about that for a while. I think they're
Got con money.
I
You
think
got bumper money.
I think they're just fine. Much to the dismay of the WWE fandom cult on Twitter.
It's not competition, according to Vince.
Oh yeah, except when it is, right?
We can get in that in a little bit.
Sure.
I have thoughts as a rookie wrestling fan. But dear listeners, that
How was
was
your weeks?
pretty much the same as Drew.
Oh, okay.
Not gonna lie, that's us. Replace Breath of the Wild with Streets of Rage 4 downloadable content, which is amazing. The things they throw in there to use as a weapon, just fantastic. So yeah, not a like ton of got landscaping done and whatnot, and it's ridiculous amount of money to pay for dirt, rocks, and plants, but you know.
We're going to try to keep up on the new house. This last house, we just let it go to heck.
All right.
Bad homeowners.
Dear listeners, those were our weeks. If you'd like to tell us about your weeks, you can do so at the following social media locations. You can find us on Twitter at Devils Do Pod. You can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Devils Do Pod. You can email us at thedevilsdopod@gmail.com, or you can find all these resources on our website, thedevilsdopodcast.com. Drew, that being said, we do have an email from Mr. J, sent all the way back in June 30th.
Are you gonna make him read it?
Yeah, I'm going to make him read it. JD, you got it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me go to my sent.
Okay.
I'll go back. I mean, a lot of these are emails to... Oh, there we go. Questions of the week.
Yeah.
Do we go to the top 5 or the questions?
Go to the questions because, folks, we got 2 top 5 lists for you after the questions.
Drew/Carl.
Hi.
Hi.
What one thing would you change to AEW to make it more enjoyable to you personally?
Um.
You want me
One
to go
thing.
first?
You go first. I could rattle up a list.
More time for the women, and I don't say that as like, ooh, pretty ladies.
No,
I think like for a while the women's division was going in the right direction. Now it seems like over the past month it's kind of going in the wrong direction again. Like you had Nyla versus Britt. Who's the face here? Who's the heel here? I don't quite see what's what. Like Britt, fantastic. She's obviously very over, and she, deservedly so. But like right now, I was talking about this with Drew. It feels like there's no alpha face for the female division. Like there's no clear-cut face contender for Britt's title. I loved Sheeta as champion, but they didn't do anything with her story-wise. She's an amazing in-ring performer. She's got a lot of great skills, but never really did anything with her story-wise. So I think the women's division has got so much talent there, and they really need to be giving them more time like they were doing up until like the last month or so. Of course, now Britt has a broken wrist, but
She worked through it.
She's working through it.
we'll see. So just real quick, that would be my more time for the women, like more time on Dynamite.
Well, they'll get the hour of Rampage. I'm sure they'll fit a women's match into there.
I hope so.
Omega wants Rampage to be more women focused, so we'll see if that pans out.
It's what he's booking.
Yeah.
He's the main booker of the women's division, so of course he's going to want. I trust Kenny Omega. He's never steered me wrong in the years I've been watching that man perform the art of wrestling.
Drew?
He did Hadoukens in the ring.
He did.
One thing, I mean, I could nitpick a lot of things, but again, as a fan, none of it really is enough to dissuade me from loving the company and the product, because
Right.
I do. It's like I look forward to Wednesdays every week. One thing, please take JR away forever. He can do those sit down segments every once in a while for something air quotes important,
Right.
but I don't want to hear him ever again on commentary.
I don't disagree with
Time has passed him by. Carl,
Yeah.
are you excited to go to WWE Dynamite in September? Jim Ross sure was.
I will tell you right now, he is a main reason I stopped watching AEW for a while. And that's from me, who will watch anything not WWE.
Yes, I understand.
I cannot, and I will listen. I listen to his podcast still. I like that show because it's reminiscing about old stuff, and I don't have
Yeah.
to hear him try to talk about the new stuff. Because the first 10 minutes of the show, when he talks about new stuff, he's half sitting there burying AEW.
That's what I'm saying.
The people who are paying you to talk.
Yeah.
Go away, old man. Tony Schiavone is doing quite fine with Excalibur.
Yes.
Use Big Show, Mark Henry, anybody else, Taz.
I'd be fine with Taz in a more prominent role.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Jay. There are times where I think Excalibur just makes up names for moves.
Yes.
'Cause I don't. No, I'm sure he does, but I'm like, there's sometimes you said that I'm like, you just made that up right now, didn't you? Marks like me don't know any better.
You need some old grainy ROH DVDs from 2005, and I can give you those. And you will hear words that you didn't know existed.
That's really it. Oh, that and anything Cody's doing, I just don't care.
This is where Drew and I differ very much because Drew hates Cody.
Here's the
and I
thing.
have no
I
problem
actually,
with him.
right now, I'm very interested in what Cody's doing because Malachi Black is kicking him in the face
Yes,
Weekly.
I'm here for that.
and I don't have a problem with Cody. I think he's perfectly fine. Never puts on a bad match.
No,
Always.
he doesn't. He doesn't put on a bad match. He will also never give you a great match.
Sometimes that's enough.
3-star Cody is a thing.
It was a thing before AEW became a thing. 3-star
Given his position in the company, it would be very easy to abuse that power.
No.
Like, when's the last time he headlined a show? He doesn't.
Which is fine. I commend him for. I will commend Cody for that.
It's because of Cody we have Eddie Kingston in AEW
God,
because it put him over so much in the match he had with him.
go! Just find some YouTube time and just go back and watch him and Chris Hero have their little spat in CZW. Oh, it's beautiful. Because Chris Hero is a wrestling genius.
Cody's not
And
my
Eddie Kingston is a psychopath.
Cody's not my number one, but I don't have any problem with him.
I'm in the camp of I don't have a problem with Cody. In fact, I loved his time Bullet Club when he was Indie Cody. I liked Indie Cody. I just don't care what he does anymore. He's just a guy on the screen doing some stuff. Cool. Okay.
And he's going to make sure you know that he's doing the stuff.
And if he's getting guys over, fine. He's just there to me.
Yeah. Like everybody, not everybody, majority of people right now who are big time over in AEW is like they had like a real, like one of those first stepping stones to that in AEW was a highlight match with Cody.
Like I said, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's perfectly fine.
It's all downhill once he got that tattoo.
We were
tattoo's
together. That was the
bad.
last real time I think there was a grouping of wrestling viewing.
Shocked
and
us.
we all looked at that and went, what?
What?
Did
What?
he get I legitimately thought he got hurt and cut himself shaving or something.
I think we all had the same reaction. Like, did he? Is that just for the match? Then we all kind of
wasn't coming off.
We were all like, "Oh, it's real."
Like, please let this sweat off within 5 minutes. Like Sting's makeup. Nope.
Nope.
Yep. All right. Next question.
Okay. For Carl,
Yes, sir.
kind of going with the moving theme here.
Yes.
I will be moving to NT area soon. What local food places can you recommend?
Right off the top of my head, Twin City Deli. It is on Main Street in NT. Amazing sandwiches.
Okay.
We've had them a couple times for game night.
Get the French dip and get the Cubano.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Twin City Deli.
Twin City Deli. Anything else? How about Chinese food?
Because
There's like a really greasy looking place about 2 blocks away from the house.
there's a couple different places. They're all about the same quality. They're par for Chinese takeout. So yeah.
Okay.
Joe's Pizza, good New York style by the slice.
That's the one near the tops near the river, correct? Yep. Okay.
Mhm.
I've had their stuff before from the one near the tops on Grant.
Yeah. So
status.
if you're familiar with Zeddy's, they're kind of like
Oh, yeah.
our Zeddy's. Yeah, good pizza. I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, Twin City Deli, number 1. Check it out.
Noted. Thank you.
Sure.
Zagat's with Carl. Or Zagats.
I see what you did there. I like it.
Drew,
Hi.
back to wrestling a little bit.
Yes.
What Nintendo character would you casually rip off as your gimmick to work as a luchador in Mexico? Like Super Waluigi, or like, well, rest in peace, Super Porky.
I would be
Super Samus?
no.
Zero Pants Samus.
Just call me I'm trying to think of the luchador name I want to go with here. I'm blanking here.
Just give us the character.
Psycho Luigi Jr. That's my luchador name.
How would the mask be? Just green with the fake mustache coming off of it.
Exactly.
With the hat knitted onto it.
You know it.
Like Curry Man.
Yes, more or less.
Carl, you're familiar with Curry Man?
I'm not.
Him and Christopher Daniels have never been seen at the same place at the same time. It's just unfortunate that they've never met.
Okay. All right.
He's hot. He's spicy. He tastes great.
All right. Good times.
Was that the only email?
Yeah.
Jay from a month ago?
Yeah, a month ago.
All right, cool.
For some reason, unless we let the people know,
As an avid listener, yes, some heads up sometimes is nice because we never know when you guys are going to record, which then falls onto us, other listeners. We should just always be sending questions.
legit.
See? Jay spitting truth.
Yeah.
I'll take
fire.
blame.
So, Jay, in your email, you did send a request for a top 5.
I did.
What is the request for the top 5?
Drew's top 5 things he hates ranking.
That'll be next week's. Top 5 for Carl. Carl, top 5 deaths in the Jaws franchise.
So
Let me clarify, because I already realized the mistake I could have made.
well,
Not sharks.
see,
Did I not clarify and you went with the
you
sharks?
didn't
It's okay. It's okay. I'll take it.
because I thought I was going a little meta with that. I was like, ooh, he's probably thinking, Brody child, little Kittner dork,
Pippet.
Pippet.
I still have a theory that Pippet's not dead.
Um,
Drew's sitting here like, you Jaws idiots.
So
It's fine. It's fine. I haven't read The Expanse, so fine. Let me have this.
I'm the only expanse nerd sitting at this table, so it's fine. I speak into the void.
all right, so our first top 5 list for Mr. J. Gelsomino,
Total
top
bust.
5 deaths in the Jaws franchise. Number 5, the first shark death in Jaws 3, baby shark.
The death of the baby shark?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Because, it's number 5 because it went out in a fish tank,
Yeah, he kind of...
glorified fish tank. It just went belly up. So, it's sad because it was unavoidable, but, sharks not kept in captivity for a reason. Number 4, we're going the classic Jaws 1 death of the shark.
Okay.
The smile, you son of a bee, shooting the air tank in the mouth, make shark go
only-
boom.
Us, Chief Brody, and Ellen Brody saw.
Yes. Ellen Brody saw
Drew,
psychically.
we've really got to get you clued in on Jaws 2 through 4.
You think The Expanse is some deep sci-fi stuff? You have no idea.
We've got sharks and voodoo, sir.
Voodoo, you say?
Take,
Oh, voodoo.
take a step into the Van Peebles-verse. I got a double spit take.
I did not. I was not even drinking. You got Jay though.
Academy Award watcher, Mario Van Peebles.
Okay, so
Oh wow.
the number 3 death in Jaws. The shark in Jaws 2.
Oh, he went out.
Electrocuted.
Mhm.
He was Two-Face for the entire movie.
was.
Two-Face shark. Then bites down a power cable that doesn't electrocute anyone else who's in the water or what. Okay, so number 2. The dang shark's mother from Jaws 3. Mama shark. The grenade.
Yeah.
Dude bit down on a grenade. They didn't try and disguise it as an air tank. No. They went legit grenade.
To the point of Dennis Quaid's strength to be able to bend a metal pipe
Yes.
underwater to hook that grenade.
Listen, Dennis Quaid's
Drew
strength is
has checked
legendary.
out, by the way.
Go on. there's some drama at the animal shelter. So go on.
All right. And of course, the number 1 death in Jaws franchise, the death of the shark in Jaws 4, the neck stabbing
Thank you.
death of the shark in
Next.
Jaws 4.
Now, wait a minute. Neck
Yes.
stabbing with...
The boat.
It was stabbed in both. Hold on. The ending is the same, technically.
Non-explosion.
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 Okay.
You see,
Again,
Drew,
we'll bring you
when
up to
you
speed.
stab a shark in the neck with a boat,
I haven't seen Jaws: The Revenge since I was like 6. So
they can
I haven't
sometimes...
seen Jaws Revenge since 3 weeks ago.
of course.
They can sometimes combust.
Well, maybe it was the oxygen tank in there still.
No, it was the psychic powers of Ellen Brody.
Okay.
Because that's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's your list of psychics.
You know
got
what?
Jean Grey, Professor X, Ellen Brody.
Yeah, you've lost me.
We'll find you again. Don't worry.
I hope Michael Caine's house that he bought was beautiful.
Mario Van Peebles cleaned it.
Wow.
He's currently squatting in it.
Listen,
Mario Van Peebles with a fantastic Caribbean accent, mind you.
yes. Listen, Peak Peebles,
Peak.
New Jack City. New Jack City.
No, Jaws of Revenge, then New Jack City, then Solo.
Oh, that's the HBO deep cut.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
I know my peeps.
I appreciate that.
funny
you're the one,
foreshadowing of coming conversation.
So
Okay.
no Sean Brody,
Nope.
no Banana Boat Woman,
Sharks.
just sharks.
Did the Sharks.
I know what I'm sending next time. No upside down helicopter man with the cool beard.
Nope. Sharks.
Sharks.
The movie's called Jaws, not Eaten.
But they went into their jaws.
Yeah. Sometimes boats went into their jaws too. You saw what happened there. Okay. So
Cage goes in the mouth.
Nick Cage
Whoa.
swinging big.
I would watch that Jaws 5.
Or Jaws.
Cage goes in the water. I'm Cage.
Or Jaws remake. Nick Cage is Quint.
Let's go find some rockets.
Wow.
And it's on Alcatraz.
Jaws is in Alcatraz?
Yes, Jaws is in
Sure.
Alcatraz.
I'm in. Let's go.
Kidnapped a whole bunch of tourists.
Jaws Catraz.
Why not? Let's go.
Okay, so we have another top 5 list, which is kind of lead us into probably one of our first points of conversation for the evening. Top 5 toy packaging. Classic toy packaging encompassing the packaging itself, the artwork on the package, the design of the package, things like that.
Who's top 5?
My top 5.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
It's Duty top 5. Duty top 5 doubleheader.
Wait,
Giving the people so much because we've been gone for so long.
it's a lot of duty.
A lot of duty. Getting it all over you.
Stacks.
I'm potty training a kid right now. This is not new for me.
Okay. Number 5. Classic 1977 to 1985 Kenner Star Wars. Great card backs, that classic piping going around the border of the package of the figures and the vehicles, going from the R and the W and the S and the W, the letters.
Yes.
Going all around back. Just clean, well presented, showed you what you were getting. Further down on the list because, and to be maybe admired, on the vehicles, there wasn't artwork per se, as they just kind of showed the toy. Now, the scenes they showed the toy in were always kind of cool. Good luck recreating those. But still, kind of classic packaging.
Okay.
Number 4. Another Kenner entry into the list. Kenner Superpowers. Really popped off the shelf. Yellow, blue, the star explosion behind the Superpowers logo. Really like great artwork of the character.
I'm pretty sure
on the
Jack
card.
Kirby did those.
Very possible. The vehicles or the playsets always had great artwork in them, and just really popped off. Really, the first one that I can remember they used like kind of bright. Are you both just looking up what the packages look
Yes,
like on
Absolutely.
your phones? Okay.
This dark side is $140.
So, number 4, Superpowers.
Okay.
No
Art
objections
is
yet.
lovely. I must say.
Number 3, Transformers. Classic Transformers. G1
Okay.
Transformers. 1985, 6, I think they debuted till the end of the initial run. Great 80s, iconic 80s look to it.
So many Toys R Us temper tantrums to get those.
The grid that was laid over either the fading black to color background. It was like fading black to red of Autobots, fading black to purple, Decepticons. Fantastic character depiction artwork. And I say that because like it was really cool looking back on it because the artwork depicted what the toy looked like. It didn't go by the like cartoon show artwork. So you got a real dynamic depiction of what the actual toy was going to look like. So yeah, really great there. Number 2, G.I. Joe.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Okay, go on.
I mean, what can you say? You've got like we all remember walking down the aisle of Toys R Us and just explosions and explosions and explosions just bursting off the shelf.
Yes.
That classic explosion background, and then you had the great artwork of the character or vehicle of what you were getting. Always fantastic. Wasn't crazy when they went to the kind of digitized explosion.
I liked it.
I wasn't crazy about it. I like the classic. Give me, flames.
It was the 80s, man. You had to get
Yeah, I know. I get you.
Predator was in vogue,
Right. When did they switch that? That was fairly early on.
Wave 3 or 4, maybe.
Okay. But yeah, explosion background, great artwork on the front, good depiction of what you were getting on the back. Really, you knew you were in the G.I. Joe aisle when you walked down it. Number 1, Masters of the Universe. Not so much for the figures themselves, because there wasn't really a ton of artwork on the card backs for the figures, although still strong color presence, the exploding rocks, the big epic logo. The figure packaging was very smart because it made the figure look bigger than life, because the card backs for the figures are relatively small.
Yeah.
What gets it is the vehicles and play sets, because there was just like legit painting artwork
Sure.
on those things. And it was, to this day, holds up as being absolutely incredible. So yeah.
Respectable top 5.
Thought Ninja Turtles might have made it way
Nah.
in there.
You know what? Ninja Turtles was in there, but Superpowers knocked it out.
The Turtles packaging wasn't all that great.
I think it was the logo. Because
Well, it was another packaging that really popped off the shelves because it was bright, again, like kind of like a yellow base color for it. So it really made a pop. But yeah, Superpowers just cleaner design than the Turtles. So yeah. So what kind of brought about that list was, over the past couple weeks, I have watched through numerous times the new Netflix Masters of the Universe Revelation show.
And you're not here to complain about it?
Folks, I'm not here to bury Caesar, but to praise him. Here's the thing, like if you are of our generation who grew up with He-Man, it's a great show. It's a legitimately good show. Now, obviously, there's been a lot in the press about fans, air finger quotes, complaining that Kevin Smith, who's the showrunner, took He-Man out of the equation and made the show about Teela. All right, let me address that. That statement at its core is not incorrect. The 5 episodes that exist right now are predominantly about Teela and what she is going through, because this is the first 5 episodes of a larger continual story. So you're getting like the first chapter of this bigger story. And yes, it is very Teela centric. And no, that is not a bad thing, because they're telling a good story. It's really enjoyable. Orko is the heart and soul of the story. And Orko got me to cry.
I hated Orko.
This will
Traditionally. I haven't seen the new one.
not going to fault you. This would make you like really enjoy it. Because first off, the voice actor nailed it.
Okay.
Came with thunder. And it's really good. He-Man's in it. The first episode is essentially a love letter to every He-Man fan out there. And then through episodes 2 through 5, it begins to tell a larger story. And I've noticed that Netflix has done this a lot with the 80s properties that they're adapting. Like they did it with Voltron. Voltron is 8 seasons, and I use the term seasons kind of fast and loose because some seasons were like 5 episodes, some seasons were 8 episodes, but they told a continual story throughout, and it was amazing. And in my opinion, it was better than the original. You and I were discussing, Drew, that I think a lot of fans are kind of remembering the original with very rose-colored glasses of nostalgia and youth, because the original show, while great,
when you're a kid,
it's great when you're a kid.
In the 80s.
Yeah, it's great when you're a kid in the 80s. You've got a show where your protagonist cannot punch anyone, cannot use his sword for combat. And so it's like, yeah. And there's very deep cuts throughout the show that fans of the franchise, I think, will really appreciate. 2 specific callbacks to the live action movie, which I love. So yeah, it's really good. So now I see I've watched through this multiple times because I watched it the first time with William, and he fell in love with it too. Now it's, can we watch He-Man? Can we watch He-Man? Can we watch He-Man? I'm like, yes, we can.
This is Frank Langella. You will worship him.
Haven't shown him the live action one yet. Probably
Just show him the beginning and then turn it off.
Probably a little scary for a kid. But, you know, having grown up in when we did, loving things we do, you know, the He-Mans, G.I. Joe, Transformers, things like that, you know, the opportunity was there to kind of share that love with my son on multiple levels. And one of those levels is interaction through the toys. And I remember numerous, you know, throughout over the past year or so, numerous trips to Target, they have a new series out of He-Man action figures called the Origin series. And these are figures done in the classic design, but better. So like, if you remember the classic figures, you had, you know, the arms just had forwards and backwards. Those were your choices.
Keep doing that.
Yep. forwards and backwards as I move them like they do. The legs moved a little bit, and you know, you had the thunder punch action on the waist. These new ones are designed in the same scale, roughly the same appearance. Packaging is the same as the classic, much more articulated. You have the arms rotate at the shoulders. You have elbow joints and wrist joints, knee and ankle joints, and the legs can move more. And they're really cool. So I was able to go out and get him He-Man and Skeletor, and he loves them. He plays with them all the time. And like, I'm like, would you like some more of these? And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm like, you know, he's starting to lose teeth. So I figure, you know, they'll kind of be a, you know, tooth out thing. But I went to try and find other figures, and I'll tell you guys, unless I was looking for He-Man and Skeletor, I was paddling upstream without a boat. It was just is ridiculous. And the thing is, like, when you go to, because our only choices right now are big box stores, your Targets, your Walmarts, or Amazon. There are some smaller local toy stores. There's one in particular that I really enjoy, that I enjoy taking William to. It's called That 80s Toy Shop, because That 80s Toy Shop has things for both collectors and for kids. But like, I'm walking into Target and Walmart, and I'm going up and down these aisles, and there's either just like 1 or 2 He-Man and Skeletor figures or just empty pegs. And this isn't like, I'm not going the day after Black Friday.
They're always like that.
This is like,
I've noticed that as well.
It's
going
always
to Target or Walmart or whatever. I try not to go well, but whatever. I digress.
yeah.
Even before I was looking for toys for Grant, I would just be at Target like, hey, let me look. Let me see what, I don't know. Whatever. I'm a nerd. I'm a geek. Let me see what they got. I am astounded by the empty shelf space in the toy section.
Right.
Like, dude, that is a box store. Shelf space is at a premium.
Yeah.
And they have empty space sitting there. Like, where are the toys? How do they expect anyone to find this stuff to buy it if you don't have it?
The only things that are loaded up are the Lego sections and the Disney spots.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because
Everything else is a bunch of empty stuff, and then 12 Rusev WWE
figures. Yeah. Not Miro.
Not Miro.
Rusev.
he's God's favorite champion. Well, what? And then I've been like,
Things you can do in a tank.
yeah. I've been looking into this a little bit, and I sent Drew a video earlier today, and there's two parties at fault here. One party at fault is collectors, because collectors, and they are, in this particular instance, I think they're of lesser fault than the other party. Because collectors find out when something is coming out the store, and they go to get it, and they just buy it all. So it's either the collectors or, in some cases, the store staff buying it before it goes on the shelf.
Effectively, you're talking about toy scalpers.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or just legitimate collectors, people who collect toys.
But they can dabble in both.
They can dabble in both.
Yeah.
The other culprit, the one that's holds more blame in this, is the toy companies. Because they're just not producing volume necessary to meet demand. And when I say not producing volume necessary to meet demand, I mean they are grossly underproducing volume to meet demand. And you mentioned things like, things you can find, Disney, Lego, because those companies are smart, know that you have to have product on the shelf to be able to
sell product.
Sell product.
So why do they do this?
I don't know.
What's their end game? To not make toys? Like, I don't get it.
I get that prior to the pandemic, demand for toys was probably as low as it's ever been.
Yeah, but this goes beyond a year. We're talking
I get that.
10 years now.
No, I get that. And but even still, it's like, yes, there is demand there from collectors, but there is still a demand for kids. And like, my son wants a Man-at-Arms figure. I'm not looking for like the Comic-Con variant of Man-at-Arms with, option of either mustache or no mustache.
Team mustache all the way.
Oh, absolutely. I just want the Origins Man-at-Arms figure. And right now, my option for getting that is going to Amazon and paying like $30 for it. Twice of what the retail sticker is for.
So is it one of two things then? Are these toy companies subsidiaries of bigger companies that just don't care?
Hasbro, man.
Or
they're the biggest toy company there is.
But He-Man is done by Mattel, which is still not under Hasbro's.
Well, they're both guilty then.
Yeah.
Or is it they just know they're going to get the collector buying the $130 special edition, will make our money there. Whatever we sell. Cool.
I mean, I think that's definitely part of it. But also at the same time, when you think of like, because Drew, your son is really into Star Wars right now.
Yes.
So you do not have a hard time necessarily finding Star Wars toys.
I can't go to Target right now and get him a Mando toy.
Right.
And that's what he's into right now.
Right.
Or a Boba Fett.
Right.
Like, you would think the hot characters that are always hot characters, just keep those on the shelf. Just have a stockpile of them at all times. Give me a peg of Boba Fett's on the shelf always, or Vader, or Mando, or whatever. Because there's a million kids out there that are probably watching it going like, give me that toy. And their parents are going to be like, okay, let's go get that toy.
Yeah.
Hey, look, we got one.
And the other thing I've noticed with Star Wars is that, like, when we were kids, there was the Star Wars toy line.
There's a zillion of them now.
There's like 15 different lines with Star Wars.
I've been browsing it on Amazon, and I found like there's all these different variants of lines, and I'm like, I don't know. Give me the one that's not super expensive that a kid could play with.
Give me that useless piece of plastic for $9.99.
I got Megator.
I needed Mega T.
That's
His index finger is slightly crooked.
It's slightly cruxed. Each crux of the finger is $9.95 to you, sir. Oh, I wish it was only $9.95. But
I bought, so spoilers for Grant's birthday. I bought him going back to the lines. There's the black label. There's like, I don't know. And there's like 10 other ones. I got him the Star Wars toy box versions. These are cool, by the way. They have a cool style. Ages 4
slightly kind of toony.
Yeah. But cool looking.
Right. Yeah.
So I got him Boba Fett and Mando.
Right.
And they were $25 each for a child's 4 and up toy.
Yeah.
$25 each.
Here's the thing. Like,
Didn't put no bourbon in it or anything?
No.
Nice.
Wait, like a normal, like,
Yeah.
off the rack.
Yeah. It's not a,
Does
it's
his
not
arm
like a,
will bend in.
He's got some
Knees bend.
He's got some articulation. He has one accessory. $25.
here's the thing with that though. Like the toy
So glad
box,
Jake just wants Legos right now.
the toy box.
Yeah, because they're so affordable.
Yeah. Well, but here's
Keeps
the
him
thing.
busier.
Here's the thing though. But like Jay was alluding to earlier, yeah, you're paying it because as you know, we've dipped into Lego over the pandemic.
Yes,
My whole family.
yes.
My wife has a serious Lego problem. Every time we walk into the Lego store at the Galleria Mall, I know I'm dropping at least $100 between my wife and my son. I know now I say that, and there is a Boba Fett helmet at home waiting for me to assemble.
Yes. Don't let Grant see it.
But here's the thing, like, yeah, Jay's paying a little bit more, but he can also find product.
Yeah. Right. I'm
And
scrounging.
if he cannot find it at one store, he's probably going to find it at either another store or he'll be able to order it online at retail. Now, if he wants, I've noticed like with Lego, with anything else, there is a collector's market. If you want older Lego sets, like when we first got into it, there wasn't any like real classic Star Wars stuff available. Like I just want like a TIE fighter or an X-Wing.
Right. That's the boat I'm in. Give me the basic stuff.
Yeah.
Jake just finished putting together the TIE fighter.
Yeah.
Almost. Then he tried to put the wing on and it fell apart.
Dude,
He was not happy.
he must have missed a piece.
Oh, he didn't miss the floor. Tantrum didn't.
Yeah. But like, okay. But I've noticed like with Lego, they reissue those classic things every once in a while. So they keep them in relative because they just reissued the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing like just a couple months ago. So you can go get a TIE Fighter and X-Wing right now for Lego if you want. And they keep their stock readily available. There is a collector's market for the older stuff that if you want to get like, you know, the Lego Death Star right now, you're probably paying double what the sticker price was because it's not available at standard retail right now. But like, again, going back to Star Wars, like I get there. And like with He-Man, there's, from what I can tell, there's two main lines going right now. There's the Origins line, which is primarily, from what I understand, primarily meant to reintroduce the property to a general buying audience. And then there is the line that they've introduced for the new show, the Revelations line, which is different scale, different, you know, style of molding and whatnot, completely different. But like, I get that there is a collector's market, and as a business, there's money to be made there, and to a point you want to cater to that market. But at the same time, there's just as much money to be made for people looking for stuff. Like I get that kids are probably not playing with toys as long as they did when we were like, when I say as long, like as they grow, kids are probably abandoning toys a little sooner than we did. But you can't tell me there's no demand there for kids, like, because I'm living with the demand right now. My son wants He-Man figures.
Same.
Your son wants Star Wars figures. Now, Jay, your son is a little older. What was kind of your experience with this as he was growing up? Did you experience it?
Honestly, no. He's not a big figure playing. He's more puzzle orientated. Right. So Legos have always been the thing.
Okay.
Now he has become engrossed in Star Wars. So luckily, I don't have to worry about, like you said, supply and demand.
Right.
Went to the Lego store. It was his birthday. We're like, go nuts, buddy.
Yeah.
No, to an extent.
Rain.
It was reined in because I had to convince him.
He's going to walk
You're
up
better-
to you with the $800 deluxe Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, we looked at the Millennium. But we also had to reason with him, say there was one of them was like $80. I don't remember what it was. Was the Walker maybe?
Probably the ad.
But and I had to explain to him. I mean, he's 7. I mean, he still doesn't understand control.
Right.
So I'm like, well, you can get these 3 smaller ones and have 3 smaller cool things to play with, or this one big thing. So we reasoned he got the 3 smaller things. But but to go back to the point, he's a Lego kid. He's now a he was never really big into like playing with figures like I was.
Right.
My God, the amount of Transformers, G.I. Joes, WWF figures that I broke all of them. Boy, do I want that money back.
I mean,
it was a different thing. You're right, because now he can play PlayStation.
Yeah. And Drew and I were talking about this earlier, is like, obviously, kids aren't as into toys as they were. It's not to say they're not into toys, but obviously they weren't into them as they were. And obviously video games have a very big part of that, because both are tools of fostering imagination. And so like the example that Drew and I were talking about earlier is like, okay, you could take an action figure and pretend you're swinging through the city as Spider-Man, or you can boot up the PS4 game and just see that in much more vibrant detail than what you can create with the toy. Now,
I think, and this is probably the problem, we don't like go to Target very often and things like that.
Right.
I think if we did go the action figure route, I think he'd be all over that, because he is with the Legos. Like this kid, this is another problem we have with him. He will pull everything apart. So Anakin Speeder is no longer Anakin Speeder. It's some insane thing that this kid has just popped into his head. Yep. Nothing looks like what we bought it.
Right.
Nothing looks like the box art.
Right.
So I think if we threw figures in his face, he'd just be like, okay, he'll come up with a story for an hour and a half but it's also easy, just like you said, just as simple. Right. Hit the little PlayStation button, go Lego Star Wars your little butt off.
Yeah. But the thing I put it out to Carl is like, and this is me, an old man speaking. A screen is just somehow less imaginative than playing with toys.
Oh, it is. There's a balance,
and you just turn it off at the end of the day, and then it's gone. Whereas when I have a toy, I have something I can look at and play with and mess with and fidget with and put it on the shelf and look at it all the time. And like,
this is my biggest fear of packing Jacob's room, which we are doing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
All his Lego, everything he's made is on display. It's played with. Be very careful how we move this thing.
Transport that stuff.
The
meltdown that will occur if something falls off will be epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think and obviously we can look back at our times as kids and be like, well, we had another outlet available for procuring these items. We had Toys R Us. We had Child World, KB Toy Stores. We had big box toy stores, and that just isn't an option anymore unless you're in Canada.
Oh, that was the worst. When they were when Toys R Us was going out of business, Jacob was just old enough to really get into going down the aisles and like, I want this, I want this, I want this. And just this pure sadness washed over me, because I'm like, I remember doing this as a kid.
Yeah.
It was the biggest thrill. Let's go to Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Are there any more yellow cards for Contra left that I can run up to the front to do that? Let's pull back 15 Ninja Turtles of Raphael to see if they have Donatello.
Yeah.
Do the finger walk down the G.I. Joe figure rack.
That mystique is gone, man.
And I mourn it painfully, because like Jay said, it's a connection that we have, not only it's not everybody may have this, and I totally understand, and I'm sorry if you don't, but like, it's something that keeps me connected to my father, was those experiences. And, you know, we joke about it on the show. Yes, I was very spoiled. So yes, my trips to Toys R Us were very numerous, but it was
now 2 carts for the Duty family.
Employees
like,
all duties are here.
kids are eating tonight. Ladies, putting my kids through college. But no, like, you know, having those experiences, and predominantly, you know, a lot of times it was my father that took me, and not being able to have that with my son is something that, you know, I mourn, that I feel bad for. And granted, this is obviously a very first world proposition. There are bigger, more important things to be concerned about, but, you know,
To me,
there are other podcasts for that.
for me, I just feel like, well, what's Grant going to get nostalgic for later on? Browsing the Steam front page, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
I mean, there's,
I remember when I unlocked Red Hulk in Lego Star Wars when I was 8, or Lego Marvel Star Wars. Jesus, I'm tired.
That Jay, you don't apologize.
I mean, they're all the same.
You and I know that crossover is inevitable.
hey, they came out with a, you know, Han Solo and Chewie with Rocket and Groot comic. I'll get the first
Wait, I'm sorry,
issue.
what?
No, I said
if they do. Okay.
Yeah.
Thought we if you were
Anyway, yeah, I don't know. Like, I remember vividly going to toy stores as a kid, doing the finger walk down the you know, it was a land of wonder and enchantment. And like I said, what's Grant gonna be all like, hey Dad, remember when we, I don't know, remember when we went on Netflix and flipped through our feed? Like,
yeah,
no.
Having
No, I don't.
Having to pick something was an agonizing process of elimination. Now kids don't have to do that because you're lucky if you get a choice.
Yeah, it's very weird. This whole supply problem is just baffling to me. But if toy companies figured out that kids don't want toys, well, they don't make toys, so they sell them to the adults, and they probably figure the adults who want them are going to find ways to get them. But apparently not, because I based on that video that you sent me, adults can't find this stuff either.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
I don't know. So
what are they doing?
Yeah, no, it's funny that, like, kind of what you just said about the browsing Netflix kind of segues into what our main topic of discussion will be for tonight, which
Big swing.
not really a huge swing.
Okay.
So again, we are all relatively of a same generation.
Speak for yourself, old man.
Shut up. We all have films that we talk about that are kind of touchstones, fond memories, things that we watch to this day. Things like, you know, Predator, Die Hard, Short Circuit,
Short Circuit 2,
any
Freaked.
number of things.
Arena.
And
Hey, look, this was conversation before we started the show. I'm any chance I get to bring those movies up.
True. So, and I was thinking about how, like, Jaws.
You are contractually obligated to mention Jaws.
I think in
We're at the
this,
Jaws quotient for the evening.
No, we're not. Never.
No, we're not. We're
That
not.
would be Neptune's folly to think that.
See what you did there?
Wow.
I like it. I think, ironically, though, for this conversation, Jaws 3 would be more appropriate. And those films, like, hold that place in our history and, you know, the history as a whole. I think one of the reasons because we did not have as instant access to them when we were growing up as we do now. Right now, any one of us could get on our phone and start watching any one of the movies I just recommended.
Jay, put Freak down.
said.
Jay, put Freak down.
Don't do that. I don't want a content strike or anything, whatever they do to us. So yeah, like what we had back in the day, and I'm sorry if this sounds like old man shakes fist at cloud. You know, we had things like HBO, where if the movie was on and you wanted to see it, you sat and watched it, because that's when you got to see it. Now, there was HBO put out like a little booklet each month of their monthly schedule of what they were going to show. And there was actually, like, way back in the day, commercials in between the films of what they were going to show. And they told you when it was going to be on. So you had that.
I remember that little colored book that would come out every month.
Yep. It was like an ash can size. It was like, ironically enough, it was like the mini comics that used to come with the He-Man figures, which do still come with the new Origins figures as well.
And they would tell you when the pay-per-view boxing matches were.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And what movie was coming out every Saturday at 8.
So, and a lot of times we would watch a film again. Like, I'll just use Predator as an example. It's Friday night. You're sitting down, you're watching Predator. Did you necessarily set out to watch Predator? No, but it's what's on. And so that's kind of what you watched. Drew brought up the point earlier. We also had, video stores. Yeah, but even that requires more like action to get. You have to make the choice, get the video. Key tactic: if you're in a big group of people and you all want to run a video, you send 3. You send 3 people to make the choice. They make the choice for the rest. Make sure you got varying tastes in that 3. You need a liberal, a conservative, and a tiebreaker.
Do we need the conservative? I mean,
conservatives serve a purpose.
Cautionary tales, really.
So my question is, like, in this current generation where everything is instantly readily available, how does a film I'm using films as a prime example, move beyond like an initial release, review, enjoyment phase to that kind of like extended life where it's remembered and reverenced and viewed multiple times and things like that? Because like more often than not lately, I'm finding myself just turning on cable and flipping through the channels.
Oh yeah.
Because the process of like just trying to pick something to watch on streaming, if I don't immediately have something that I'm watching,
it's agonizing.
Is just like
I'm paralyzed by choice.
Yeah.
I'm seriously. Like,
it is.
I can't turn on a streaming service and like pick something.
Yeah.
And in a sea of everything, I can't possibly land on something.
Yeah. So I go on cable and I just flip through the channels till I eventually find a Marvel movie.
I will say the same.
Marvel movies are the new Simpsons and Seinfeld. They're always one on.
I feel the same way because just the other day we're sitting around. It's like 9:00.
Right.
We're not in the mood to start something at that point.
Yeah.
We're tired.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I either said it before the show or something. Tombstone. Tombstone's been on AMC literally every single night. But the second it hits a commercial, I'm gone. And then I'll move on to the next movie. To the next. But at least Tombstone still falls into like that category of you had to seek it out back then.
Yep.
But that's what it seems like even now on cable. I'm watching movies from then. I'm not actively seeking new stuff. And if it's not a Fast and the Furious movie, it's not on.
Yeah. And this, I guess my question is not so much like, what new stuff, why aren't we watching new stuff, but like how does something that's new transcend just being new and become that thing, like for us, like the Die Hard, Predator, like the HBO generation.
What is a film's second act?
I was listening to you and staring at the wall trying to think of a movie in the past 5 years that was not Marvel that makes me actually want to go back and watch it, or think 10 years from now, I'll want to go back and watch this.
Right.
Is it this nothing? It all just seems like it's something else thrown into the atmosphere onto the next. Nothing seems to stick lately, it feels.
Do you think it doesn't stick because, again, decision paralysis, or like you're just not forced, for lack of a better term, into repeated watchings of it.
Because I think it's part of because it's on to the next thing. So it's like, oh, I will fall back to Tombstone again. I like Tombstone. I'm going to go rent Tombstone again. I'm going to actively watch this again because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
If it's out, maybe I'll find something else. If all the boxes of Tombstone, there's nothing behind it, I'm going to move on to another movie or just not watch anything.
Right.
Now it's just like, oh, I watched, what was a good one? Black Klansman. Amazing movie. Moved on to the next movie. It's in a fantastic movie. It just feels like there's no rewatch because you're just moving on to the next thing, if that makes sense. Or am I just rambling?
No, I think what you're trying to say is because we have so much choice, you're always looking for the new thing.
Yeah.
You're less likely to go back to something else. And there's no curator filter forcing you to watch something again. There's no HBO or whatever that says this is on at 8:00 and that's what's going to be on and that's what you're going to watch.
And there's so many choices
and you have so much choice that okay, well I'm just going to go find something else. On to the next thing. And
it's not the same 8 movies playing over and over and over again.
Right.
I'm sitting here 5 hours away. Jaws 2's on again.
Yeah. Seen it, on to the next one.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, you keep falling back on Tombstone. I think one thing I keep falling back on is Predator. Because one thing I would like to do at one point is make a top 5 list of perfect films. I've got 2. And
top 5 Predator movies.
No.
There's 2.
There's
done.
There's 1, number 1. Then there's blanks for 2 through 4, and then there's another one, number 5, and then done.
Put some respect on Predator 2's name.
Listen, in comparison to other Predator films, it is amazing.
Yes.
When you kind of break it down and look at it, not so much.
They took a swing.
But, like, to me, Predator is a perfect film. And I've gotten to that realization over multiple viewings of it because you're not going to get that from just seeing it the first time. Like you see it the first time, you're like, this is a really good action film, really good visual effects for the time, even by today's standards. You're not necessarily going to break down like, geez, this is really like 3 films in one, and each one is executed amazingly. And, it needs and I didn't, for the first part of that analysis, that breakdown, I didn't seek it out. Like it was just one of those things again that was on like HBO or TV or something like that I would just sit and watch it. Now when I watch it again, it is because I seek out. Like, I remember a couple of years back, Julie had never seen it. So I said, we're going to watch Predator. I showed my wife Predator. I am a good husband. But like, what is that second life for modern films? What is that? Like, what's
the driving force to remind someone that a movie exists?
Right.
You want my answer? I'm half serious, but I'm half kidding, but I'm kind of serious. Memes. Clips and memes.
Go further.
Clips and memes are a new way that we communicate with each other in shorthand and encapsulate emotion and tone and like context in a short graphic or video clip or whatever. And they live beyond the movie even.
Right.
But by extension, they remind people, oh, what's that from? Oh, it's from this. Oh, I remember that. And in the context of the movie, it means this. And I'm applying that to this conversation or to this thing and ha 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 or whatever. Right. That's kind of their second life now. And if that gets people to seek it out or remind them that it exists, then that's kind of what it is. It's not the same thing it's not the same as HBO, appointment television.
Right.
But it's something that keeps things in your life or in your in your mind beyond their beyond their initial release shelf life.
Right.
It's weird, but that's kind of the world we live in now. But then again, if you look back to olden times, people misquoted movies all the time, in the kind of the way we use memes. Like,
Yeah.
play
it again, Sam. Never actually said in Casablanca.
Right. Luke, I am your father. Didn't quite say it that way.
Yep.
But that's, but it's just that kind of thing. Spoilers, by the way, for Empire Strikes Back. Sorry. Yeah. So, but in our modern culture, like, how many times have you seen the freaking the stupid the DiCaprio pointing meme from Hollywood?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Well, that one too.
Once upon a
time in Hollywood. Yeah.
Oh.
And me, having seen the movie, saw the meme of DiCaprio pointing, and I did the same. I recognize that he recognizes. I memed the meme. But I remember that, that's from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that's when he sees his performance, hit the show that he's on the TV, and he loses his mind because he's really proud of it, and yada yada, and recognizes it, and makes me think of the movie, makes me think of what it means, yada, And I think that's a good movie. Sometimes you see a meme and you go, that movie stunk, but the meme is funny.
I wonder what will come of the new Space Jam.
I think it gets buried and forgotten soon.
One can hope.
Best thing to come out of that Space Jam, the new one?
There's nothing good to come out of that Space Jam.
I disagree.
I've watched it.
The Elite's entrance on Wednesday was tremendous.
Classic Space Jam, not new Space
Either way,
Jam.
it doesn't happen without this corporate synergy of the new one existing.
So
just
everybody
wonderful.
thank LeBron James for that entrance.
Thank you, King. Thank you.
Was amazing.
In the movie, does he stare at J.R. Smith like, what did you do? Or Bugs Bunny with that same...
It was so bad. But
is Lola Bunny still hot?
Listen to this guy.
I was about to say, was she ever? Jay.
What? Just drinking another Red Bull.
Do
you realize there were people that were
mad about yes
yeah.
like
yes
what is nothing? You know what? Okay, so in the week
they're the same ones that are crying about Pepe Le Pew. I'm serious.
Remember, just anybody who's remembered the Chappelle skit.
It's the same bad faith arguments. I'm yes. Dave Chappelle had it right 20 years ago. Anyone mad about that stuff is a bad faith actor. Don't listen to them. They have nothing to. The same people that are complaining about Masters of the Universe. These people don't matter. They're ridiculous.
I'm not going to go so far as say a person doesn't matter.
They don't matter.
They might be matter. They don't matter.
I mean, they're made of matter, but their matter has metastasized and is 20 years, in the dust. Maturity and moving on is not their strong suit.
I will copy that.
Okay.
I'm not about to go as far as say a person doesn't matter. But that point I will consider.
Giving them oxygen just...
Wow.
Literal oxygen or
figurative oxygen. If you give them attention, they just want attention, and the more you kowtow to them, the more they're just going to kick up a storm. When I say they don't matter, I mean ignore them. They have nothing valuable to say. Let them throw their little tantrum. I don't have to acknowledge it. That's kind of where I'm at right now with these people. It's because it's always the same crowd and it's the same tired crap. Go cry on Twitter with your cesspool followers. Nobody cares.
Okay.
Nobody that matters cares.
a few days with my using Twitter before I started a new Twitter account. Just going, it will still allow you to check accounts and things and what's trending. Oh boy. If you don't filter and have your own things you follow and you just click,
let the algorithm take the wheel.
What are some of the comments on this?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some weird stuff on there too.
Don't.
Twitter bad, Jay.
Oh. Twitter real bad.
Twitter real bad.
Twitter scary.
Yes.
Yep. But back to the point. To the point, no faking. as we cook some MCs like a pound of bacon. Yeah. So Drew says it's memes and clips. Jay, what do you think the second life for modern films is?
Again, probably the worst person to ask about this because nothing in my world right now is outside of Disney Junior.
Yeah.
Or Star Wars. Because it's, let's
Right.
watch. Oh, my daughter Nola went to bed. Jake wants to go watch. Let's stay up and watch 2 episodes of Mando. Okay.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Worst things to watch.
But I've become that parent that it's the outside world is dead to me. So I'm probably the last person to ask on this because there's so much new things I either can't watch or I'm just exhausted to get to. I don't think like you were saying before, I don't know if the kids are going to be as nostalgic for things because they didn't have to work for it.
See, here's the thing. I don't think kids are going to be as nostalgic for things, not because they didn't have to work for it, but because nothing ever goes away now. Like when we think about the things that we are nostalgic for, you know, the G.I. Joe, Transformers, all the stuff we were talking about earlier, a lot of other things. That's because at some point it went away and we did not have it. And we didn't have there was a period of time in between when it went away and the explosion of technology that allowed us all to access it again, where all we had was our memories of it, which led to very strong nostalgia because, especially when you think about, times where we were kids, it's probably one of the, and I'm sure all kids say this, but probably one of the best times to be a kid because of the selection of intellectual properties we had to choose from. But it went away and we were forced to move on to other things, to discover new things. And I remember at certain small points when these things would kind of start to pop up again, it was huge. For Star Wars, the Timothy Zahn trilogy, for Transformers G.I. Joe, when Transformers got a new comic series from Dreamwave Publishing, G.I. Joe got, ironically enough, Devil's Due Publishing.
Yeah.
Comic series. And there were these things that we saw out there that were not trying to be any more than what they were. It's like, hey, here is a comic series of this thing we used to love, and we're going to try and tell a new story with it. And that's before it exploded into all these different things. But things don't go away anymore because it's all always accessible.
It is. But I also think that not everything is going to be around forever. There's going to be another lull. Mark my words. As much as I love the classified line, and whatnot, I don't know that Snake Eyes set the world on fire at the box office.
No,
there will be a lull in G.I. Joe soon enough.
Yeah,
and I've had a lot of thoughts about that. We can get into that maybe at a later date. But so G.I. Joe might fall by the wayside for a while, and that's fine. Whatever. There will always be the community online that can find each other and whatnot. Maybe that's what you're saying, but I really feel that there's going to be a burnout period at a certain point because we're right now, everyone's still trading on all the same stuff that we traded on in the 80s. All that's still out there and being I'm air quoting exploited, whatever. It's out there, right? I have to imagine at some point people are just kind of look at it all and be like, people are going to want something new eventually.
Yeah.
And whatever they've had, Star Wars. I know it feels like it could not possibly ever go away. Yeah, aliens. Jesus. But you know what? I really wonder, at what point is it eventually society just decides man, we've been stewing in the Star Wars juices for long time.
I think
enough of the Star Wars.
I think Star Wars may be the one exception to the rule, and that's primarily because, and something we've all experienced as fathers, is that pure Star Wars magic
It works on kids.
will always work on kids.
But
And once it gets them in, that's like the throwing the dry brush on the fire. Like,
you're not wrong.
it just starts up a new cycle.
It does. The only thing else, the only counter I would say to that is kids are also fickle, and their attention spans are about yay big. So Grant's all about Star Wars now. Give him a year, I got a feeling he's going to be like, something else.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I've seen it. I've already.
How long has Jake been going on Star Wars? Jake?
About 2 years.
Okay, 2 years.
William's about the same.
Last year it was all puppy dog pals all the time. That's kind of it's kind of fallen by the wayside now. Still likes it, but we don't put it on as much. Toy Story, smaller microcosm.
Right.
Grant was all about Toy Story about 6-8 months ago. Like, rotation. I saw those movies 3 times a day, every day. Watched all the shorts.
Yep.
He carried around his Woody doll with. He took that Woody doll everywhere with him for like months. Thing is filthy. There's no truth in those films, by the way. Woody would be filthy if he were real. But now, no.
Toy Story HD remake.
He's still recognized. He's in Woody pajamas right now, and he still recognizes it, but he is not like all about it anymore.
Right.
Kids have their time with something, and then they jump to something else.
No, you're not. I mean, you're not wrong there, but there are those things that kind of endure through all that. I think Star Wars is one of those
probably do it, but I just use that as an example, being the biggest target. I like G.I. Joe again, going to be a lull. Transformers, I think, is already entering the lull. Those movies burned out quickly. They had a run. They had a very big run, but what's the last one that anyone cared about that they thought was any good? I know they still make money, but I don't know that people talk about them in the same, remember when Rise of the Fallen or whatever, what was the second one?
I try not to think of it.
Okay, but I just remember when the second one came out, that was like an event.
Yep.
And the first one stunk. But that second one was like, you would have thought it was the second coming of whatever. Like, people were up for it. And then Devastator's testicles.
Wrecking balls.
Yeah, like why? Whatever.
Yeah.
There was that 5-minute glimpse of hope in the beginning of Bumblebee.
I heard about. Yeah. And then
Watch it. I know,
it to you.
Drew.
I know. Yeah, but
I will still occasionally go back and watch it.
5 minutes.
I'll watch that 5 minutes on loop. I don't care. Oh, real quickly before I forget, Fathom is doing the 1986 animated film.
Bring your kids.
Just might.
See,
You're gonna cry like I cry.
they won't, because they don't have the same kind of emotional attachment to the Optimus that we do. Spoilers.
No, they really don't.
He comes back. Don't worry.
Yeah, he gets better. Anyway, we'll see. I don't know. Right now, Fortnite's like the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
What? I'm old.
Me too. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
But that's the thing.
Because
Get off my lawn.
It's not
We're
for
old.
us.
Not for us.
Yeah.
We have PUBG. PUBG's for the grown-ups.
It's PUBG.
Oh my god.
I told you I'm lame now.
No, it's fine. I don't play it either, but I know. But I at least know about it.
Yeah.
Fortnite's for the children's, like Wu-Tang,
Have you,
and
I haven't even heard of PUBG in a while.
I mean, it's probably
I've
dying
heard
on the
the
vine
name.
too. Fortnite kind of killed it, but for a minute, it was like, in the battle royale scene, Fortnite is for the children, PUBG was for the adults, and now Fortnite's just omnipotent, where like everything has to apparently be in Fortnite to be relevant in any capacity. Yep. That's weird. That's weird to me.
So,
there's your second life for movies, Carl. They're gonna be in Fortnite.
not for nothing, they slapped Jack Burton in Fortnite. Download.
You say this, it's going to happen.
Yeah, probably.
That's how they hook you into Fortnite.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, I think that's kind of brings us. Jay, got anything else you want to add?
You miss your Funkos from work as much as I do.
I really do.
I was sent a picture from somebody who no longer works there. They went in to go get their stuff.
Oh, Tyler?
Yeah. And jokingly before he left, like the last, I'm like, send me a picture of my desk because he used to sit next to me. I missed them all 67 of them.
Don't remember which ones for sure I have.
I know one fell because there's a hole at the top of my desk where one is supposed to be.
Fun times.
I had to pack up the second round that I started doing about 8 months ago. My new collection.
It's funny.
A lot of Grogu's.
A lot of Grogu.
I
I got one. Julie got it for me. All right, folks.
Did we want to speculate on the Loki finale and all that business?
We can touch on it.
I mean,
yeah.
Is anybody else disinterested in the show like I was?
Loki?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Jay.
I zoned out a bunch.
I was into it, but I'm still left with the question of why we needed it, besides the fact to introduce the multiverse.
I get the point of it.
And to me, that's a bad reason for its existence.
I am wary of multiverse.
Same. I have big concerns
in this medium. If they say, hey, this phase is all going to be about multiverse, and at the end of this phase, that's it, it's done, fine. Knock yourself out. I thought Loki was great. We've talked about this before. I like how each Marvel show is about something, and the characters kind of just facilitate that. You know, it exists on 3 levels. It exists on like a character story level. It exists as forwarding the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it exists as a story about something. WandaVision was about dealing with trauma. Falcon Winter Soldier was about legacy and can a black man be a Captain America in 2021 America. Loki was about blatantly honest self-realization and introspection. And that's what I really liked about it. Just kind of bringing, forcing the character to look within himself and see who he really potentially is.
And I get that.
Yeah.
But my problem with it, and I brought it up before, like, we saw that already. Like, Loki did that in the movies.
Yeah, but this did it better.
Did it?
We got to like, I mean, come on, man. That, especially in the first episode, that just I could watch an entire episode of him just talking with Mobius and be like, it's
fine, but it just felt like, so we had all these episodes for Loki just to come back to where I already saw him get in the films. He already had all the redemption arcs with his brother and with Odin, and then he sacrificed himself for Thor. Like, I already saw Loki have this arc. So why do I have to see it again, but longer and with Kang this time?
Good, more layers. Like each layer more enjoyable.
I'm not trying to crap on it. I'm just, because I did enjoy it, but I do question.
God, we need Hiddleston.
I do question why was it necessary.
I got 2 words for you. Why it was necessary. Crocodile Loki.
Now
that is the beginning, middle, and end of the conversation. Any point you raise in opposition to it is useless.
I don't have a retort to that. Crocodile Loki is everything.
The man has a point.
I'm just positing, like, out of all the shows, it felt the most obvious, like, oh, we're setting up something else with this. And this is the avenue we chose to do it.
Clearly it is the one that forwarded the cinematic and the most.
Yeah.
Because we knew Kang was coming in the next Ant-Man Wasp movie. I don't think the Kang we saw here will be the Kang.
No, it's a Kang. It's not the Kang.
Yeah, we're going to get multiple different...
God, that's gotta be Kang!
We're going to get multiple different Kangs before we get to the Kang. If they're setting up the Kang as the big bad of this phase of Marvel, which I'm totally fine with.
It feels a little big step down to me, but it's fine.
Have some... But here's the thing, like, a step down is okay.
It's fine.
Because if you keep trying to ratchet it up after Thanos and the Infinity Gauntlet, you're going to get disappointed real quick. I don't need escalation from one phase to the next. Give me something different, but keep telling me good stories. the next story doesn't have to be as big or as spectacular as the previous story, as long as it's still good.
I'm just saying on the marquee value, Kang doesn't quite make the marquee.
My point is, he doesn't have to make the marquee in comparison to Thanos. Just tell a good story. That's what Marvel's done in the past.
You got Doctor Doom sitting on the bench, is all I'm saying. This will not stand.
As you're so accustomed to saying, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Does this feel like this is the, I don't want to say New 52?
No.
The way of getting to this phase is the way to get to next phase where...
You're saying it's a transitional champion.
Yes. This is the 3-month Chris Benoit. Hey, look, he's what I would consider the most transitional champion of that time. Then he did some awful things.
Yes.
It's just the bridge to get to the next step. Like this was to get us to, oh yeah, we just bought Fox. Now we get our other play toys back. The bigger play toys. The X-Men play toys.
Maybe.
And to help you continue to forget that Robert Downey Jr. will not come back. Chris Evans is gone. We're going to introduce Ironheart is...
Don't know.
Her?
We don't know. Yes.
Whoever...
Ironheart, Riri Williams. I get what you're saying.
Or that the multiverse is going to... this is my fear, is that we're going to hit the recast button using the multiverse.
I don't
Variant
think
Tony Stark.
They'll do that. If they did,
I hope they don't, because that feels gross.
Would be like.
I don't think they will.
I think they're smart enough to not do that.
I think they know people ain't gonna buy it.
Yeah.
People were okay with recasting Rhodey and and Banner, but you recast Captain America or Iron Man, you're pushing the public's trust in you a little much.
Right.
Big. You're not.
big,
very big. You're not Ron vibes.
Well, I get okay, we're giving the mantle of Cap to Sam. Okay.
Yes.
But I'm just there's not that lead number one Iron Man now. I mean, they can obviously develop that person. I'm afraid they're going to say, hey, the next new kid, we'll just do a multiverse. And here's plucky young Tony Stark, but it's not Tony Stark.
Tony's back, baby.
Because we need an Iron Man. Not that we need somebody good. We need Iron Man.
What you're saying is, no. I had a point and I lost it. What you're saying is,
I'm trying to book the territory, Drew.
Marvel does not. You're going to appreciate this parallel. What you're saying is, you think Marvel doesn't want any one character to become bigger than the brand. WWE style, baby. They don't want anyone to have any sway over them, so they're just going to introduce a bunch of B players.
Anybody can be Iron Man.
And coast on the Marvel name.
But when you think about it, that's how this whole thing started. You introduce a bunch of B players. What'd you start with? You start out with Iron Man, Cap, and Thor. Which at the time...
You start off with Charlie Chaplin and the Human Torch.
Yeah. Charlie Chaplin, the Human Torch, and Australian number 4.
Hey, to be fair, he rocked that Star Trek opening scene.
And so you start out with Iron Man, Cap, and Thor, which at the time in 2008 are all B players.
They're B players, but I never really bought that they were B players. They weren't X-Men or Spider-Man, but they were easily Marvel's most iconic characters outside of Spider-Man and X-Men.
Iconic to comic readers, maybe, but not to the public at large. There was a public awareness of them, but that
but that's all you needed.
Johnny Normal on the street knew that a character called Iron Man and Captain America existed.
That's all they needed.
But that's almost the very definition of a B player. We know you exist. That's about it. I mean, come on, man. They were B characters. when this
I don't
whole
know.
thing
I
started.
don't disagree. I kind of disagree, but
Well, you disagree because Cap's one of your all-time favorite characters.
That's right.
You don't want to have one of your favorite characters be a B character, and I get that, but you kind of have to acknowledge
like
reality.
Daredevil got a movie, and
Yeah.
he's like C-list.
Yeah. The movie didn't help him move up that list.
No,
either.
it didn't. I'm just saying.
So, I mean, again, if you're going to do the multiverse thing for this phase and then put it to bed at the end of the phase, I'm all for that. I don't want to see what Jay is describing happen. I don't want to see the multiverse lead to like reboots and things like that. Also, I think Jay raises a point where like, you've got, Marvel's plans are always very fluid. They always have plan A, B, and C. And right now, is this where they probably thought they were going to be after Avengers Endgame prior to the Fox purchase? Probably not. This is probably like plan B or plan C to get us to be able to go into things like the X-Men, things like the Fantastic Four, things like that. I'm interested to see where it's going to go, because there's a possibility that this could not be, this could almost be like a mini phase to where it ends with Ant-Man 3, with that Kang could come and be resolved in that, or Kang could go on and be other things. Either way, as we've mentioned on the show numerous times, their credit with us is very well established.
It is.
And, we got What If coming next, which, okay, great. Sure, it's going to be a lot of fun. We have Black Widow.
Enjoyable.
Which was...
But also done.
Yeah, enjoyable.
I liked it a lot more than I thought I would, actually.
Yeah, it was great. Did you?
I was just going to ask you guys if you saw it as you started talking. I have not seen it yet.
Okay.
Good.
It's good.
Spoilers.
It's
Good.
really good. Yeah.
Worth the purchase?
Considering what you would pay for theater tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it has problems. It has the Marvel problem of way too big finale for the story we were trying to tell, but it's fine. I dug it. Characters are all fantastic. And it reminded me a lot of like Winter Soldier. So it gets the Drew thumbs up.
It's a bold statement.
I'm just, again, not without its problems. I can pick at it, but I did enjoy it a lot.
Yeah. So as usual, I think Marvel's in a good place and going in the right direction. I don't think they've had a miss with their Disney Plus shows yet.
No.
I really like how Disney Plus has gotten me to appreciate weekly releases again and not just gorging everything when it first comes out. So as not to get spoiled anything.
Yeah, I hate that Netflix model. Binge it. No. Give me the drip.
I enjoy it now. What else have we missed in the past month?
Loki, Black Widow. Flash is doing stuff.
Sure. Believe that when I see it.
I mean, Batman's in it.
Okay.
Apparently Suicide Squad's good.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's James Gunn. Yeah.
I actually look forward to this one.
James Gunn and Sylvester Stallone voicing a talking shark. Okay.
What can go wrong?
John Cena's a turn off for me, but whatever. I'll allow it.
The John Cena walking around everywhere dressed as Peacemaker is starting to get a little old.
Jay, you're talking to the person who
if you can find him.
I know that you know. I was tired of John Cena 10 years ago.
Oh, I can beat you.
Watching him fail upward is really frustrating to me.
The problem he from everybody backstage, he just seems like the most phoniest person.
I'm shrugging.
People whose opinion I would feel like I would trust wrestling wise don't like him.
I just don't.
He is the Tom Brady of wrestling.
Yes, that's an apt. Yes. Only, and you're gonna appreciate this. Brady actually is talented. See what I gave him a compliment. You're welcome, Carl. That was for you. Otherwise, I would
Jared-
never do this.
Bitter Saints fan is still sitting here going, if Jared Cook didn't fumble in the third quarter, we were marching down and we're going to score again, and Tampa wouldn't have won.
I digress.
Sorry.
Cena has made a lot with very little. Anyway, I don't like the guy.
I'm gonna put on my as we shift a little bit to wrestling here. I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat, conspiracy theorist. I think WWE has a very sinister plan. They figured out a way to beat AEW. They're gonna release all their talent, make AEW sign them, and then just have too much talent and not be able to do anything good with it. And ultimately collapse on itself and then sign them all back when AEW collapses.
That is actually a slight rumor I've heard, that they might actually be thinking, like, Vince doesn't realize how much money the Khans have.
The Khans are worth several times more than Vince McMahon.
That he's like, in the conference call, he said, "Oh, we'll just give them more talent then, I guess." Yeah, okay, because the idea is they'll just keep signing people and wasting money. What was I said in the one chat? The Khans will just build another football field, drill another hole, build another football field, because he's owns an NFL franchise money.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that, Vince. You had to start and create your own league to think that you were in the same boat as those
twice.
As those people are beyond wealthier than you.
Yes.
So let me ask you guys this now, as a relatively newer fan. Obviously, it is very exciting, the prospects of the potential talent coming to AEW. Is there a point, I know we have a second show coming in Rampage, but again, that's only an hour-long show on late night Friday night. Is there a point when you do actually have too much talent? And as much as I'm excited about the new talent coming in, I don't want the new flashy established talent to drown out the talent that's been there since day one. Like, obviously, yeah, Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, really exciting to have. I don't want them coming in and halting like Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara's development.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm asking. I don't know, because I'm relatively new.
You bring them in, pop your audience higher, get more eyes on them,
and you give those young guys the rub.
As a couple of years go, it's a process. As you start to transition. This is the problem that WWE never did. There was never a transition. It was old guys, never put over the younger guys.
Bury the younger guys.
Now we have to. I haven't watched Raw in almost 2.5 years. Why is Goldberg on the show? Why are all these old acts still showing up to WrestleMania? Why is Edge still main eventing? I like Edge. Most people don't. I know Drew hates him.
Loathe him. But
because they haven't established anybody, and they've cut all their younger guys because, well, they didn't get over. Because you didn't let them get over, because you either 50-50 booked them against other young guys and they butted up against each other, or they never beat older established guys. John Cena, Randy Orton, they're still at the top because you didn't let them lose to make the other guys shine. AEW hopefully is smart enough. Punk comes in. Holy crap, CM Punk is here. Holy crap, Daniel Bryan is here. No, Bryan Danielson is here.
Correct.
His mama named him Bryan. Call him Bryan Danielson. Then you can transition Jungle Boy, like Hangman. It's going to simmer. Let it simmer. Let him pop a big win against Bryan Danielson.
I think that's the plan. If you want my honest opinion, because Hangman just lost his title shot, right?
Yeah.
People are behind him big time.
Yeah.
Now he's not getting his title shot. What do you do with him now? I'll tell you what you do with him. You have him slow burn it longer. You put some other guys in front of Omega. You have, or not, forget Omega. How do you build up Hangman's confidence? You have some hotshot big name come in like Bryan Danielson, you feud him with Hangman, and Hangman goes over. Now he's got the confidence to face Kenny Omega next year or whatever. Like you do it that way.
I guess the plan was that Hangman was going to face Kenny at All Out, but All Out's being in Chicago. CM Punk potentially coming in. You don't want.
I think Punk's working Darby.
Yeah, but he will. The theory is he will initially premiere at All Out in Chicago, and you don't want Hangman's
big moment to get outshined.
Right,
yes,
right.
Yeah, that's a good point, and that's smart.
Drew says I have a mind for the business.
He's for a rookie.
I've been impressed with Charles' figurings of the businesses.
Yeah, I share your concern about the talent acquisition. Like it's been said a million times in a lot of chats with me and Jay. Like they can't sign everybody, but they do seem to be choosy about who they do sign. And when the guys they do sign seem to be working out just fine, and not to the detriment of anyone else per se. Like if they sign CM Punk and Bryan Danielson, am I going to be sad that QT Marshall's not on my show anymore? No, I'm not.
QT does need to go away.
All due respect to the guy, probably a great trainer, probably works wonders with the kids. I don't need him on Dynamite.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, and I was this actually. They had a thing with Cody today. They had a whole conference call thing with him, and he it was asked of him, when is it too much? He said, we're going to sign guys who will move the needle.
Yeah.
He's not directly saying, because he said, the first thing he said was, don't ask me about rumors. I will not answer them. You're wasting your question. Then he says, we'll sign people who move the needle. You need those guys, though. You're at a 1-1 rating. Punk's going to move a needle. Danielson's going to move a needle.
Yeah.
It's Bray Wyatt move a needle.
Bray Wyatt will move a needle.
He will, actually. Wait, and I'm not even a huge fan of his, but I know people were into his character in a big bad way. I would probably be more into him if they didn't screw him up so often in WWE. Like his character was super interesting, and every chance they got, they found a way to screw it up.
But then, and now, rumor is that Adam Cole's contract is coming up. He's working on an agreement.
Hot dog and a handshake.
If he leaves, I think he falls into the same boat as like Miro. He's from the other company.
Yeah.
Cole much less than Miro. Miro was an NXT guy though. Cole's an indie darling who came over to WWE.
Right.
He's got that kind of, to the AEW crowd, he's got that credit. He can come in and just be like, Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah.
We're good with you. But he can still middle around that upper card where Miro is.
Or like Christian Cage.
But like Christian, I feel, is in the same kind of thing like Punk and Danielson to a lesser extent. Christian's there to get guys over. Matt Hardy's there to get those lower guys over till they graduate.
Yeah, right.
To the Miro, I'll put Adam Cole in there. Adam Cole spot with Hangman, who will graduate to losing to Danielson and Punk, then beating them to get to the top of the mountain. Omega will start to lose and fall back down. Jericho will start to fall.
Jericho he already has.
He's starting to move down, but that's when MJF moves up.
Yeah.
Because
Jericho jobbed Orange Cassidy like 3 times.
He fell in a vat of oranges.
Maybe it's just me, but like the Trials of Jericho thing seems like I'm going to do the greatest hits and I'm going to go away for a while.
It very well could be.
He's 50. He just went through a pain of glass. Death matches aren't my thing, but that was still a pretty good showing of that.
Sure.
Domino's Pizza doesn't think so.
Pabst Blue Ribbon's jumping on that. But
Domino's is fine.
But if they're doing it right, they're going to do it the right way that WWE screwed up. They're going to use top talent to get eyes, who will then bring the eyes to the
new kids.
Yeah. Who will then be brought up to the top of the mountain, the middle of the mountain, as you cycle through people.
Yeah, you don't just put Jericho on top forever.
But going back to like WCW in the late 90s, they had the greatest roster probably ever assembled. Rivaled maybe 2002 WWE. You can't have enough talent. I don't care if one of them it shows up once a month. If he's out there putting on a bust-ass match, fine.
Yeah.
You need a William Regal doing amazing things on WCW Saturday Night. Fine. You need those. Not everybody's going to be at the top, but you can.
I know what you're saying. Not everyone's going to be on top, but you can make the most of your slot.
You can have a great show from top to bottom.
Right.
Your mid card doesn't have to suck. It can be a bunch of good. The late WCW 90s. Raven, Saturn, Malenko, Eddie, Benoit, all those guys, the luchador, the whole luchador scene. That's what kept it together with the NWO angle and the top guys. You had top to bottom a great card. For God's sakes, people wanted to actually watch Alex Wright and Disco Inferno, but they were still decent workers who, in another time, might have been higher up. Or in another company, a smaller company, would have been like top guys.
Right.
You need as much talent as you could possibly get. We're not going to sign you because we just don't have the room. We'll make room for you.
Right.
We have 2 internet shows and another hour coming on Fridays. If we're smart and we know what we're doing, we will find a spot.
Yeah. And if everyone's putting in the work and the show is stacked, everybody's over to a degree where you can slot anyone into the main event if you need to, whenever.
Right.
And you can even, in the forbidden door doesn't exist anymore. It's a screen that has, that the dog ran through.
Yeah, because who do we got coming? We got Ibushi and Moxie?
Mox and Sami Callihan.
No, who was on the video?
Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Tanahashi.
So the rumor is Moxley's facing somebody at All Out from NJPW.
It's probably Tanahashi.
It's probably Tanahashi.
Well, the good thing with that is
that's bananas.
Now you got all this talent in AEW, but everybody's eyes are. Let's go back to there's content everywhere.
Yeah.
You can watch all these guys since the Forbidden Door is broken down on New Japan World. You can watch them on Impact, so everything's fresh. Guy's not on AEW for a few weeks. Okay, then he's off somewhere else. Enough people are watching him. You bring him back, he's still hot. You're not losing anything over 3 weeks.
Right.
You've got that core audience, I guess, that's looking at other places. That's AEW's audience right now is really more hardcore now. And
new people though. They skew young.
But
nothing is off limits.
But Carl knows how to find. It's more accessible now than when they were doing ECW, WWE talent switches.
Right.
You had this. You would see a WWE guy show up in ECW when Jerry Lawler did it.
Right.
It wasn't a big thing for WWE fans, but it was a big thing for ECW fans because, like, oh my God, this guy's here. I think I lost the narrative on that one, actually. I don't think that's a good example of what's going on. It's actually a bad example of what's going on now.
The reason that I started watching was because, like, obviously we had, we've spoken prior to AEW becoming a thing. We've spoken a lot on the show about different events happening in wrestling. I've been over to your place a couple times for like NJPW shows, and like I got into it because I was like, all right, here's something, Drew has tried out a bunch of things that I've liked in one way or another over the years, so here's kind of my way of returning the favor. Let me try this out because I used to watch but didn't just stop watching. But I went into it knowing like it's theater, but like the fun of it to me, like, isn't just watching the shows. The fun of it is like our conversations around them and like, fantasy booking and, wondering what different things are and wondering what planet Ray Phoenix comes from because he is not human. He's my favorite. He's just Ray Phoenix. Because he might be Spider-Man. It's just like he might be Spider-Man. But I guess at the end of the day, what you're saying is at All Out, Kenny Omega versus Ric Flair. That's what we're thinking.
And then after that, Rick is flying to Japan and working the G1.
Sure.
Carl, do you know the G1, the giant tournament?
Drew has told me.
Okay. Yes, Ric Flair will be working 16 matches over a 10-day span.
Wow.
And winning.
Oh, Flair don't job in Japan. But even like, there's another guy like Andrade. He's another one that he's in that middle tier. He will move up if they keep, depending on which manager they give him next week.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He came in with a lot of like hype, and I feel like after that Matt Sydal match, he's got some work to do.
His debut was a wet fart, as far as I'm concerned. He showed up. He had Vicky Guerrero, who, okay, she draws heat.
I have no issue with Nikki. I have no issue with her. She's a heat magnet.
But she wasn't the one to be with him.
That's fine. That's fair.
Not when you were supposed to be like bringing in this like star, or it was supposed to come off as a star.
That's who I said to Drew and Allen, who they got signed. You signed the Iconics, put them with Vicky Guerrero. We will all go deaf.
I like where she's at. Like they moved her over. Who's she with now? It's with
I don't even know.
Nyla.
She's with Nyla, yeah.
Okay, with that god awful the BTE skit that they
killed.
do.
They killed it. It's over.
They did.
Yeah, it's
I haven't
over.
watched in a couple weeks.
It's done. Now you get Ryan Nemeth doing insane art films.
And
I'm back on board.
I did not like the Hollywood Hunk segments. His new weird art film segments are amazing.
and the multilingual love story of Leva Bates and
Peter Avalon.
And Peter Avalon.
Oh, Peter Avalon.
Fantastic. It's so great.
Every company needs a Peter Avalon.
I'm not gonna lie. BT was on lull for a while. Ironically, when the title left and went to Sammy's.
Oh my God, I missed the title defenses. But they're back.
Drunk,
they're back.
I just need drunk John Silver in my life every week.
Gator Golf was a high bar though.
Gator Golf was a high bar. All right. Well, this has been a lot of fun.
But yeah, we're all over the place.
We've gone long. We're all over the place, but we're having fun, and that's like I kind of like how we're doing the show now. Just having good, fun conversations we can enjoy. Folks, if you want to suggest something for us to speak about, if you want, again, send in recommendations for a Duty Top 5 list. By all means, reach out to us, talk to us, let us know. Just because we don't post that we're recording doesn't mean we are not going to ever record again. So you can email us
anytime you want.
It's like the sign in Clerks. I assure you, we're open.
Just put that as the banner on our Facebook page.
Pretty much. You can find us at the following social media locations. You can follow us on Twitter at Devils Do Pod. You can like our Facebook page at facebook.com/DevilsDoPod. You can email us at thedevilsdopod@gmail.com, or you can find all these resources available to you on our website, thedevilsdopodcast.com. That being said, Jay, any closing thoughts?
NJPW World is 9.99 yen a month. It's a good investment.
Especially when the G1's coming up.
I'll lose so much of my life. And thank God that the gyms are back. I can feel somewhat comfortable going back to the gym because that's how I watched the G1, was just cardio and a little bit of Japan on my phone.
Alrighty. Drew, any closing thoughts?
No.
Alrighty. Folks, thank you so much again for joining us. We appreciate it. And we will talk to you all next time by the power of Grayskull.